Every choice leaves a mark. Some marks fade with time, but others cut too deep, bleeding into every part of life. In the Queen's world, power isn't just won, it's stolen, fought for, and guarded with blood. And when the dust settles, the question remains, who will rise, and who will be destroyed by their own decisions? In Season 2 of All the Queen's Men, the game of power grows darker, and the consequences hit harder than ever before. This is not just a world of money and glamour, it is a world of secrets and survival, where every move comes with a price. Behind the lights and shadows, loyalty is tested, and betrayal waits at every corner. The Queen's empire stands tall, but it is built on shaky ground. Every ally could become an enemy, and every enemy hides a blade waiting for the right moment to strike. What begins as a story of ambition soon becomes a battlefield of trust. Deals made in whispers turn into wars fought in silence. Friendships bend under pressure, and love itself becomes a dangerous weapon. In this season, there are no safe choices, only risks that drag everyone deeper into a pit of lies, temptation, and control. The Queen's men are bound to her by power, by fear, and by desire. But even the strongest chains can break. The second season pushes every character to face the truth of their decisions. Some fight harder to keep their place at the table, while others are crushed under the weight of their own mistakes. The pursuit of control brings out the darkest sides of those who crave it most. Every crown comes with a cost. Every empire carries a shadow. And in this world, shadows are always hungry. The air is heavier now. What was once a quiet storm building in the background has broken open, spilling tension into every corner of the Queen's empire. Nothing feels steady anymore. Every alliance trembles. Every relationship cracks. Trust is a fragile thread, pulled tighter and tighter, ready to snap at the slightest pull. And when it breaks, the sound will echo like a gunshot. Behind closed doors, whispers carry more weight than screams. Promises made in secret feel like traps, and the fear of betrayal burns hotter than loyalty itself. Each character steps deeper into the shadows, their faces hardened, their hearts sharpened by the battles they cannot avoid. No one is safe. The tension creeps like smoke, wrapping around every conversation, every glance, every silent threat. There is no longer a line between love and danger. What once felt warm now feels suffocating, a reminder that desire can chain a person just as tightly as fear. Love becomes a weapon, carefully sharpened to control, to weaken, to break. A tender touch hides a ruthless plan, and a smile can cut as deep as a blade. Every relationship is poisoned by suspicion, and every moment of intimacy carries the weight of betrayal, waiting just beyond the kiss. And then there is power. Power that moves like fire through the veins of those who chase it. Some grip it so tightly their hands bleed, while others watch it slip away like sand between their fingers. Season 2 paints this hunger with brutal clarity. Those who rise do so by crushing everything beneath them, and those who fall are buried in silence. The Queen's men are no longer players, they are pawns, in a game too, dangerous to control. What makes the tension unbearable is not the violence, but the silence before it. The slow build of decisions made in desperation, the uneasy calm before betrayal explodes. Each move is calculated, each lie crafted with precision. A false smile at the table, a hand extended in trust, a word whispered in the dark. Every action is a step closer to ruin. The Queen herself stands at the center, unshaken on the surface, yet surrounded by storms, threatening to consume her throne. Her gaze cuts deeper than any weapon, and her silence is deadlier than her words. The empire grows colder, heavier, suffused with paranoia. The men around her feel the weight pressing down, knowing that one wrong step could erase them completely. Friend becomes foe, and foe becomes executioner. Betrayal doesn't come with warning, it arrives, disguised as loyalty, dressed in friendship, cloaked in love. And once revealed, it burns hotter than any flame. The tension doesn't just rise, every breath feels stolen, every night feels dangerous, and every morning comes with the fear of who will survive the day. The walls of this empire echo with hidden truths, with footsteps carrying secrets too heavy to hold. And beneath it all lies the simple truth that no one dares to say out loud. Survival is not promised. This is the heartbeat of Season 2. A steady pulse of fear, ambition, and desire, pounding louder and louder, until it drowns out everything else. It is the calm before the storm, the moment before the first blade falls, the silence before the empire begins to break apart. The rising tension is not just in the world of the Queens men, it seeps into their souls. And once it takes, the storm finally breaks. The tension that has been building in silence now erupts in violence, betrayal, and heartbreak. No one walks away untouched. The empire, once glittering with power and pride, becomes a battlefield where every choice is punished and every mistake is paid for in full. This is the moment where masks fall, where secrets spill, and where loyalty shatters under the weight of ambition. The consequences arrive, not with warning, but with sudden, merciless force. A whisper spoken weeks ago comes back like a blade pressed against the throat. A deal made in the shadows drags an entire family into ruin. A betrayal once hidden bursts open like fire, consuming everything around it. Each character begins to understand that nothing remains buried forever. The past always returns, sharper than before, and when it does, it cuts deep. For some, the punishment is loss of love, of trust, of safety. Tears fall in silence as they realize the people they fought for, the ones they believed in, were the same ones sharpening knives behind their backs. For others, the punishment is blood, ruthless strikes in the dark. Enemies turned executioners, the empire collapsing under the weight of violence it once controlled. In Season 2, no crime goes unanswered. Every action echoes back like a curse, haunting the very ones who thought they were untouchable. The queen stands tall, but even she cannot escape the brutal cost of power. Her men bleed for her, fight for her, die for her hand, yet the more they sacrifice, the weaker the foundation becomes. Love turns to ashes in her hands, loyalty burns away, and control slips through her fingers like smoke. The empire demands more and more, and in giving everything, she risks losing the very thing she built it for, survival. And then there are the moments that hit hardest, not the gunshots, not the blood, but the silence after. The empty chair at the table, the broken gaze of someone who has lost everything, the haunting sound of footsteps walking away for the last time. These are the brutal consequences that linger long after the violence has ended. The physical wounds heal, but the scars of betrayal, fear, and regret never fade. The cost of ambition is written across every face. The men who once stood proud now bow under the weight of choices they cannot undo. Every decision made for power becomes a debt, and in Season 2, that debt comes due. Friendships crumble, alliances burn, and hearts turn to stone. Those who thought they could control the game learn the harshest truth. No one controls it. The game controls them. What makes these consequences brutal is not only their force, but their inevitability. The seeds were planted long ago, every lie, every betrayal, every desperate grab for power. Now, the harvest has come, and it is poisoned. The empire feasts on its own, and there is no escape from the hunger it created. In the queen's world, no victory is clean. Every win leaves a trail of broken souls, and every empire is built on the bones of those who couldn't keep up. Season 2 makes this truth clear. Ambition is deadly, and survival comes with scars that will never fade. The brutal consequences are not just punishment, they are transformation. They strip away illusions, reveal the darkness inside, and force every character to face the truth of who they really are. Some break under the weight, others harden, becoming something colder, sharper, more dangerous than before. But no one remains the same. This is the empire's true currency: blood, sacrifice, and silence. And the more it demands, the more it destroys. Every empire has a breaking point, but what makes the fall unforgettable are not just the ruins left behind, it's the way people change when forced to choose between survival and destruction. Season 2 doesn't just break its characters, it reshapes them, twists them, and pushes them into corners where the only way out is to become something new. For some, the arc is tragic. They begin with ambition in their eyes, chasing a dream of power, love, or freedom. But step by step, they lose themselves. A lie told in desperation becomes a habit. A compromise made once becomes a lifestyle. By the time they look in the mirror, the reflection staring back is a stranger, harder, colder, more ruthless than they ever imagined. This is the cost of staying alive in the queen's world. Innocence traded for survival. Humanity replaced by hunger. Others rise from the ashes of their own ruin. They lose everything: friends, love, safety, but instead of crumbling, they grow sharper. Betrayal turns to fuel. Pain becomes armor. These characters find strength not in victory but in loss, their wounds teaching them the brutal lessons of survival. They learn that power is not given, it is taken, and if they want to keep breathing, they must take it without hesitation. Their turning point is not soft, it is forged in fire, leaving them unstoppable but no longer whole. The queen herself faces the sharpest edge of this transformation. Once untouchable, she now stands at the center of chaos that even her iron will struggles to contain. Every decision she makes ripples outward, shaping the lives of the men who orbit her throne. Some grow devoted, willing to burn themselves for her cause. Others grow resentful, realizing that loyalty to her is a cage they cannot escape. Her arc is one of balance. To remain a queen, she must sacrifice pieces of herself, one by one, until there is nothing left but steel and silence. Around her, the men shift like shadows. One is broken by love, forced to watch the one thing he cared for slip away because of choices he made in loyalty to the empire. Another discovers that power without trust is emptiness, his victories hollow, his hands stained. Yet another turns his back on everything, embracing betrayal as the only path left, proving that sometimes survival means becoming the very monster you once feared. Each arc bends differently, but every one of them bends toward change. The turning points are rarely loud. They don't come with thunder or fire. They come in moments that seem small but cut deep. A whispered confession that reveals the truth. A glance that lingers too long, betraying what words cannot. A single act of violence that cannot be undone. These are the sparks that set entire lives ablaze. Season 2 thrives in these moments, showing that the greatest changes are not always seen in battles but in choices made in silence, when no one else is watching. And what follows these choices is transformation that cannot be reversed. Some characters embrace their darkness and thrive in it, wearing it like armor. Others drown, unable to carry the weight of what they have done. The Empire doesn't care which way they fall, it consumes them either way. In this world, growth is survival. But survival leaves scars that never fade. The arcs of these characters remind us that power always reshapes those who chase it. No one comes out the same. No one stays who they were at the beginning. They are broken, rebuilt, and broken again, until nothing remains but a shadow of who they once hoped to be. This is the true brutality of the Queen's world. It doesn't just take lives. It takes souls.